You can sit all day, barely move, and still feel exhausted. That does not always mean you are lazy. Sometimes it means your brain has been working the whole time. Modern life is strange because you can feel tired without doing anything physical. You might spend the day switching between messages, apps, emails, videos, decisions, worries, and tiny unfinished tasks. From the outside, it looks like nothing happened. But inside your brain, a lot happened. Your attention moved again and again. Your working memory kept loading new information. Your emotional system reacted to small signals. Your brain kept making tiny decisions. And your nervous system stayed slightly alert for hours. That kind of tiredness is not body fatigue. It is mental fatigue. And to understand it, we need to look at what your brain is actually doing. Your brain is not just a thinking machine. It is a prediction machine. Every moment, it is trying to answer questions like, what matters right now? What should I ignore? What should I respond to? Is this safe? Is this urgent? What happens next? That prediction work costs energy. Not just emotional energy, real cognitive effort. When your day is full of small signals, your brain keeps updating its model of the world. A message appears, a notification arrives, a tab stays open, a task is unfinished, someone replies with a strange tone, a bill needs attention, a video makes you compare your life with someone else's. None of these things may look difficult on their own, but together, they create mental load. Mental load is the hidden work your brain carries even when your body is still. It is remembering what you need to do, tracking what is unfinished, deciding what matters, holding worries in the background, switching between different roles, worker, friend, partner, child, parent, customer, user, problem solver. Your brain keeps all these open loops running quietly in the background. And open loops are expensive. An unfinished task keeps pulling attention because the brain treats it as unresolved. That is why a tiny thing like I need to reply to that message can sit in your mind for hours. It is not only the task, it is the mental tab. And modern life creates too many mental tabs. The second reason you feel tired is context switching. Your brain is not designed to jump between unrelated worlds every few seconds. But that is what many digital days look like. You read a work message, then a news headline, then a funny video, then a serious email, then a personal problem, then a shopping reminder, then a meeting notification. Each switch forces your brain to unload one context and load another. That has a cost. Even if each task is small, switching between them burns mental energy. It is like opening too many apps on a computer. Nothing looks dramatic at first, but slowly everything becomes slower. Your brain also experiences something called attention residue. When you move from one task to another, part of your mind can stay stuck on the previous task. You are reading an email, but part of you is still thinking about the message you did not answer. You are watching a video, but part of you is still thinking about work. You are trying to rest, but part of you is still checking whether something is unfinished. That leftover attention makes rest feel weak. You are not fully working, but you are not fully resting either. That middle state is exhausting. The third reason is decision fatigue. People often imagine decisions as big life choices. But your brain makes hundreds of tiny decisions every day. Should I reply now or later? Should I open this notification? Should I check that app? Should I watch one more video? Should I buy this now? Should I answer this message carefully? Should I ignore it? What should I eat? What should I do next? Each tiny decision uses control. And self-control is not just about avoiding bad habits. It is also about choosing, filtering, pausing, prioritizing, and resisting distractions. The more choices you face, the more tired your control system becomes. That is why, after a mentally busy day, even simple decisions can feel heavy. You may not be physically tired, but your decision system is tired. The fourth reason is emotional microstress. Not all stress comes from big events. Some stress comes from many small emotional signals. A message that feels cold, a deadline you keep remembering, a social media post that makes you feel behind, a news story that creates worry, a notification that makes you feel needed, a task that makes you feel guilty. Each one creates a small emotional reaction. Usually, you do not stop and process it. You just keep going, but your nervous system still notices. It stays slightly activated, not panic, not crisis, just low-level alertness. Over hours, that becomes draining. This is why you can feel exhausted after a day of scrolling, replying, checking, comparing, and worrying. Your body was sitting, but your emotional system was not at rest. The fifth reason is low-quality recovery. Rest is not just the absence of work. Rest is a state where your brain can stop monitoring, deciding, and reacting. But a lot of modern rest is not really rest. You open your phone to relax, but then your brain gets more input, more faces, more opinions, more headlines, more choices, more comparisons, more unfinished thoughts. It feels easy, but it is still stimulation. Your brain is still processing. That is why some breaks do not make you feel better. They only change the type of mental load. You stop working, but you start consuming. And consuming can still be tiring. This is where dopamine is often misunderstood. People say dopamine is pleasure, but dopamine is more about motivation, anticipation, and seeking. It pushes you toward the next thing, the next notification, the next video, the next update, the next small reward. That seeking mode can keep your brain active even when you think you are resting. You are not deeply recovering. You are chasing small bursts of novelty. And novelty feels good in the moment. But too much novelty can leave your mind scattered. The sixth reason is unfinished attention. Your brain likes completion. A finished task gives closure. A finished conversation gives closure. A clear plan gives closure. A real break gives closure. But many digital experiences do not give closure. Feeds do not end. Notifications keep coming. Tabs stay open. Messages wait. Videos autoplay. Tasks remain half-started. So your brain keeps asking, are we done? Is there more? Should I check again? That constant background monitoring is tiring. And finally, there is the problem of invisible effort. Physical tiredness is easy to respect. If you run for an hour, you understand why your body is tired. But mental tiredness is harder to see. So people judge themselves. I barely did anything. Why am I so tired? Why can't I focus? Why do I feel drained? But the brain can be exhausted by invisible work. Attention management is work. Emotional regulation is work. Decision-making is work. Context switching is work. Suppressing worry is work. Staying available is work. Pretending to rest while still monitoring everything is work. So what can actually help? The answer is not just try harder. Often the answer is to reduce hidden load. Close loops. Write down unfinished tasks instead of keeping them in your head. Batch decisions. Check messages at set times instead of constantly reacting. Take breaks without adding more input. Create real stopping points. Let your brain finish one context before entering another. And most importantly, stop treating mental fatigue as a character flaw. Sometimes your brain feels tired because it has been doing exactly what it was built to do: predict, monitor, filter, decide, and protect you. The problem is that modern life gives it too many signals, too many open loops, too many context switches, too many tiny decisions, too much stimulation pretending to be rest. So if you feel tired even when you did nothing, maybe you did not do nothing. Maybe your brain was carrying the hidden work of the whole day. That is why your brain feels tired. Complex ideas, made simple.